In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw an ER diagram in StarUML. Now, the first step is going to be to open up StarUML and then create a new project. So you want to go to the top left where it says File and then New, and just create a new project that way. Now, from here, what you're going to have to do is actually go to Model up top where it says Model, and then go to Add Diagram, and then here at the bottom it says ER Diagram. Just click on that, and it's going to basically populate this field on the left, and then this one on the right as well. Okay, so that's kind of the first step you have to do. Of course, you could also go to over here where it says Untitled, right click and do Add Diagram, and then select ER Diagram from here at the bottom. I just prefer this interface up top. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so we're actually gonna have a scenario right now, and we're gonna basically design an ER diagram for a library management system. Now, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to use this as a simple example over here with 3 separate entities, which I'm going to explain as well in a few seconds over here. And what we're going to do is basically in this system, we're going to have it that way. So a library has many books. Okay, now members can borrow books, and each book can be borrowed by many members over time, and we will track borrow date and return date. Okay, now that's going to be kind of a very simple situation, but of course you'll kind of get the idea of how things work, and you'll be able to do it for your own case scenario, whatever you're doing. So first, we're actually going to create entities. Okay, now in ER diagrams, entities are actually tables, and they are represented as rectangles. So we're first going to create a member entity. Okay, so from the left hand toolbox over here, we're going to click on entity, and we're going to click somewhere over here where you want to have it. And if it doesn't highlight automatically, you can double click on it to actually be able to rename it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to rename it to member, like this. Okay, now we have our member over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add attributes. Okay, to do this, we're going to right click, and we're going to do add, and then we're going to add column. Okay, we're going to have to add 4 columns for this one, and I'm going to show you why in a few seconds. So I'm going to add 4. Of course, in your case, if you're doing something different, it could be a bit different, but for this one, we're going to have the member ID. So I'm going to do member ID like this. There we go. And this one is also going to be primary key. So the member ID will uniquely identify each single member. So we're going to mark it as primary key by checking the PK option. When I basically double click it here, we have this option. I can do PK primary key over here. And whenever you do this, it's going to have the PK sign next to it. Okay, so that's going to be unique to actually every single member. Okay, now the second one is going to be name. Okay, the third one is going to be email, and then the fourth one is going to be phone. Of course, you could put whatever you want here, like address or something, whatever. Okay, so that's the first one we're doing. Now we're going to create another entity, which is going to be called book. Okay, so that's the actual book we're borrowing. So I'm going to click on entity over here. There we go, and I'm going to name this one book. Okay, and then in here, we're also going to add 4 different attributes. So right click, and then we're going to do add, and then 4 columns. Yet again, make sure you're clicking up top and where it says book or whatever you're doing for yourself. There we go. And then the first one here is going to be book ID. So book ID, there we go. And this one is going to be, of course, as you guessed, the primary key, because that's unique to each and every single book. And then we're going to do column 2 over here, which is going to be the title. So title. Okay, we're going to do the author as well. There we go. And of course, I could do something else. For example, I'm going to do published year. Okay. There we go, published year. Okay, that works. So we now have this one. And of course, why we have the primary key here is because, as I said, the book ID uniquely identifies each book. So that's why we set it as a primary key. Okay, now we're also going to create the borrow entity. Okay, this is the associative entity. So what this means, since a member can borrow many books and a book can be borrowed by many members, this is a many-to-many relationship. Okay, and in relational databases, we resolve many-to-many relationships using a third table called an associative entity. Now, this is not very important what it's called, but I just wanted to explain this. So we're going to create a new entity, which is going to be called borrow. So I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to name this one borrow. Okay, there we go. So we're going to add a few different attributes over here, and this time there's not going to be 4, there's going to be 5 of them, and I'm going to show you in a second why that is. So right click, and then you just have to add a few columns in here. So I'm going to add 3, and then there's 4, and then last but not least, we have the 5th one. There we go. The first one is going to be the borrow ID, which is going to be the primary key. Okay, so borrow ID. Of course, just like that. There we go. I'm going to click, double click, and then primary key. The second one is going to be the borrow date. That's not going to have any key on there, just the borrow date. Then it's going to be return date, like this. There we go. and then we're going to have two foreign keys. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this is right now. Now, member ID and book ID will actually are gonna be the fourth and the fifth one. So member ID and book ID will act as foreign keys, linking this table to member and book. Okay, so this one has so member has the primary key of member ID and the book has book ID, and this key is of course already existing, so we're going to add it as a foreign key because it's somewhere else already. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to do member ID, oops, like this, there we go, and then we're going to do a book ID. Okay, so book ID just like this. And to actually mark these, now for some reason there's no availability to actually do FK, which is the foreign key. You have to click on it, and then here under properties, bottom right, you have the foreign key. You can click on that, and there we go. This is basically just for better representation on your screen. You have two foreign keys over here right now. Now, step 5, next step is going to be connecting these entities. Okay, so from the toolbox, we're going to select relationship. Okay, so here, as you can see, you have like different relationships over here, and we're actually going to do the first one between member and borrow. So what I'm going to do here, for better kind of visual representation, I'm going to leave borrow in the middle over here, and I'm actually going to first create a one-to-many relationship. So let me explain why that is. So you have a bunch of different ones over here. We're going to use one-to-many from member to borrow, and that is because one member can have many borrowed records. Okay, so that is basically why we have one-to-many, because one member can have many different borrowed books. Okay, but each borrowed record belongs to only one member. So yes, they could have like a bunch of different ones, but they only belong to one member. So I'm going to do one-to-many over here, and I'm going to just click on member, and I'm going to drag it over to borrow just like this, and there we go. I now have the first relationship, which is basically one-to-many. Okay, so it's one-to-many, as you can see over here. The member side is one, and then over here on the borrow side we have many. Now we're also going to connect book to borrow. Now you can think for a few seconds what you would do over here, but of course I'm gonna tell you as well, so you can pause the video and try to guess what it's gonna be. But one book can appear in many borrowed sections or borrowed records over time, and each borrowed record refers to one specific book. So again, this is a one-to-many relationship. Okay, so book is gonna have one and borrow is gonna have many. So we're gonna do one-to-many, and then book is gonna be one, and then borrow is gonna have many, just like this over here. Of course, you can move this around if you want to, and that's pretty much it. Now over here, you could of course rearrange these different diagram parts over here, so you could go ahead and create them however you want. As you can see, you can move these around, you can make them a bit more visually appealing, whatever you actually want to do. And yeah, that's pretty much how to create an ER diagram. I hope everything was explained well, and I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please subscribe to the channel and help me out as well.